Recording. Hi, and welcome to Dare to Be Authentic podcast. I'm your host, Maury Mitchell, and I love bringing you inspiring people to every podcast to talk about what's going on in their life and how it could enhance your life. Today, I have a wonderful guest. His name is Rob Wilson. He's going to be talking about an entirely new thing that he created. I'm not even going to, well, it's called the Fresh Experience with an X, Experience. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say for us today. Rob created what he calls a liberating lingo, which is a way of talking to yourself and about yourself that keeps you in the now and frees you from the subconscious ideas, thoughts, and concepts that can hinder you from expanding into your best light. He is a founder of Cowboy Wisdom Hypnocuity, which is hypnotherapy that quiets the thinking memory mind. He's also author of several books, including My Wisdom Breeds. Welcome to the show, Rob. How are you doing today?
I am doing excellent. I'm a guest on your show. Life don't get better than that.
Thank you. You're what I call my serial guest because you come on over and over and over again. But you know what's really fun? You always have some fresh, new, out of the box things to bring to us. And that's why I love having you every time. So today you've been talking about the fresh experience. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Yeah, life is 20, every second of every day is a fresh experience. It isn't an experience that isn't new, it's fresh. And if you say new out loud, then say fresh out loud, see what you feel. But fresh brings it to now, and the subconscious representations can never latch on to yesterday's. You say new, there's a lot of stuff that the subconscious mind and your inner programming is going to grab onto. But when you say fresh, it eliminates that and opens the way for a better way. And something I've really discovered, most of our life and most of the things we've done are inherited from our parents. We didn't embody it, we inherited it. And so when you can understand you're inheriting something, you can open up to the fresh experience. And the reason for X instead of EX is past
Mm.
now. Them little things, subtle things like that, open you up to the fresh experience. And see, when you have all the challenge is a fresh experience.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos is fresh experience. All the adversity, controversy is fresh. It's really introducing you to fresh wisdom, insight, and clarity. And that's the thing we've been trying to do since the beginning of time. We've been trying to use yesterday's knowledge, thinking, knowing, learning to move forward today. That's why the world's about semi-stuck where it's always been.
Yeah.
And so everything that we have, we've gotten from our ancestors. And so with the nervous system, soul tattoos, and emotional snapshots, everything is lived from yesterday. And as soon as you go to thinking, the subconscious mind goes into the panic of yesterday because that's what it understands. And we live in the pain and the panic of yesterday because that's our comfort zone.
Yeah. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Fresh experience versus new experience. When I say new experience, even though it could be a little exciting, there's some fear that comes up with that because new is the unknown. You don't know what it is. So it brings a little bit of fear. But when I say to myself out loud, fresh experience, wow, that's just exciting. It just opens me up to what new possibilities and it opens me up to positive possibilities for some reason, that word.
Yeah, it does because it's a colorful curiosity. And it opens up to the contours of life. See, if you let go of boundaries and realize life is a contour, it's just flowing energy. You
Mhm.
can flow in a contour and you can craft your life any way you desire. But if you try to do a boundary, you hit a dead end. But with a contour, that image is right here, and your energy goes around it. Then
Mm.
you can open up and realize all that is That's fresh wisdom. That's a freshness entering your life.
Right.
That's boundaries are limitations, but the thing you're afraid of is a limitation within you. Everything you think is in the physical world, it's an illusion.
Mhm.
Everything is inside you. It's in your subconscious representations, something inside you. And also something I really have expanded into, and I heard it, but the body leads the mind.
Mm.
Your body's reacting before your mind has a clue.
Yes.
And when that body's reacting, your subconscious mind starts getting it and it goes into what it understands,
Hmm.
what it knows. And the mind understands pain
Yeah.
and it lives you through the pain. And so whatever's occurring in the outside world that has you frustrated has nothing to do with the outside world, it's everything to do with yourself. So what is the fresh experience you're being shown that you're afraid to see?
Mm. I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. See, there's nothing outside world is an illusion. It's an instigator, an aggravator, just to see what you're going to do. And the spirit and the God, whatever you want to call it, they like to see what we're going to do when they throw chaos at it. Are we going to dance? Are we going to panic? They don't care either way, but they like to watch. They're good, but they're also ornery.
I love what you say about that it's all inside of us. When you first come to that concept and hear that concept, you're like, wow, because it puts all the responsibility on you. Like you can't blame anybody or any circumstances anymore. However, the good flip side of that is that means you have the control over it because if it's inside you, now you can do whatever necessary thing to be okay with this. So whatever chaos was thrown in your life, whatever thing you didn't like was thrown in your life today, like you said, how are you going to respond to that?
Yeah. Well, you can ask yourself, because life comes down to energetic liberation, energized listening, and maverick questions. Maverick questions means you're a little wild, and you got to get out of the mundane mockery of yourself. And a maverick question, you can say, "Why is that being shown to me today?
Right.
Why is that here?" And when you don't like somebody, that's something you don't like in yourself. And
Mhm.
hate, anger, frustration, all the unwanted stuff, that's inherited programming from our ancestors, our parents, outside world. So once you can open up and understand you inherited everything.
Right.
You didn't embed anything. You inherited it. Because we come in from the womb to five and it went right in, and the subconscious mind never misses a thing, while your conscious mind misses about everything. So you're inheriting stuff and it goes in and becomes an imprint. And as soon as something happens in the physical world that excites that, next thing you know, the pain, the staying pain comes out controlling your life.
So how, I'm going to ask you a question, Rob. So you inherited this, just like if you inherit a house.
Yes.
How do you not accept this inheritance?
You got to accept it. You got to appreciate it.
Mm.
You appreciate the inheritance because there's wisdom in there that's being showed to you for fresh wisdom, insight, clarity, and opening your path of enlightenment. And see, that's something we're always looking for answers and solutions.
Hmm.
That's just mind pollution. Because once you find an answer and you find a solution, you think that answer and solution is going to take you forever. It's only good for one thing.
That's
That
right. Yes.
you're on a pathway and you appreciate the wisdom and you rise beyond it. You can on a path you can flow, thinking and knowing you're bestowed into the yesterday.
I love that. I love that the answer is for that one thing because the world tends to teach that that's it. This is the answer. You got the answer to everything, the key to life. No such thing.
Well, that look at the world. We've been trying to stay in that answer since I was born. And everybody say, "Oh, we got all the technology and all." But I was born in 1955. come through the 60s, the 70s, and 80s, and the world's the same. But now we're trying to use computers to dodge what we're supposed to understand, not learn, but understand and to understand, but we're staying the same. But
Mhm.
now we got all these little gadgets to go around it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We're going around and around and around and around it. We're not questioning it. You're only going to rise out of your anything with listening and questions. But you got to understand, you embody the wisdom, insight, and clarity to rise out of everything.
That's
But it
awesome.
ain't coming from a computer.
Yeah, that's for
But it
sure.
is coming from your inner computer.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go back to maverick questions. I just love that word. Why do you want to use the word maverick?
I grew up on a cattle ranch. A maverick is a calf that never done anything. It gives you a little bit of it's an ornery curiosity.
Hmm.
And you want to ask questions because if you use education to ask questions, you're never getting out of the education.
Right.
But if you use a maverick or an ornery or something that's mischievous, you're going to get your curiosity up. But a maverick is it's really a calf that broke away.
Okay. Ah, I like it. It broke away. That's what we have to do. Break away.
We got to have a jailbreak, an inner jailbreak.
I love it.
We inherited all of our parents' stuff.
Yeah.
And what we really don't understand is how much of the ancestors' survival mode programming we still encompass.
Hmm.
And if you look at the world, we encompass a lot of it because the Middle East, they still can't talk.
Right.
We can put a man on the moon, we can operate a computer, but we still don't have the people skills to communicate. And and the way it's going, we never will because we don't want to understand it's okay to be different.
Hmm. Yeah,
And all the hate it's in the world inherited from our ancestors.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And this is probably, but like all the dislike you have in the world is inherited.
Absolutely true.
And nothing again, but an education never takes you out of that inheritance because a lot of it em- embeds that inheritance or speaks about that inheritance.
Hmm. Yeah.
And if you really start opening up, we've never got away from a third world enslaving mindset because we always think we don't look at people as wisdom and insight. We look at people somebody to control.
Mm.
And if you listen to a few of the leaders today, you can really witness that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
And and the people that are supposed to be leading us, they really got entrenched with that third world enslaving mindset.
Yeah.
And it's very if you listen to be liberated, you can hearken that. And hearken over here, hearken's the sacred, deepest listening there is.
Okay.
If you want to hearken your wisdom, you can rise. But if you hear your wisdom, you're just on the surface level.
So let's get back to the fresh experience. So let's say I say, this is awesome. I want to do this. I want to step into a fresh experience in my life. How do I know if I'm allowing myself to have a fresh experience or just reliving a past experience?
Well, that's up to you. What is fresh in this? What is what is happening here that I've never experienced? Or is this just something I've rehearsed trying to make myself feel better?
Mm.
And if it's fresh, it's going to make you a little bit queasy, uneasy, because you're into the you're into the realm of You're into the colorful curiosity of yourself. And that's the thing. You don't want to be curious about the outside world. You want to be curious about your own talents.
Mm, I love that.
And see, we're always trying to put the outside world in here.
Hmm.
Well, the outside world is for us to color, but the curiosity, okay, what what is occurring to expand me, and what's making me uneasy? You want to understand uneasy is the fresh. And if you're trying to stay inside the comfort zone,
Hmm.
you're gonna just kind of feel good about it. And then about 2 days later, you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
And for me, I can't say this for everybody. When I have something new coming in,
Hmm.
something fresh coming in, I get grumpy, I get angry, I get everything because the moldy old is getting ready to go and this is. So now when I start having I'm mad at the world, just frustrated with the world, I say, okay, something fresh is entering my life. What's fresh? What's old that's got to go.
Wow. That's really awesome because it's not the most comfortable to get out of your comfort zone to experience something new,
Yeah,
something
but
fresh. It takes comfort.
it's uncomfortable to get out of there, but it's misery to stay,
Absolutely.
or miserable to stay.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I like it. Really great. So, what do you believe begins to happen when you allow yourself to continue to walk in that fresh experience?
You're never satisfied with where you're at.
Mm,
You're always questioning. Once you open up to the maverick questions and energized listening, your eyes start observing, you start observing the world instead of being in the world. You want to witness and observe the world rather than being in the world. And, because you're in the thin. When you're out of the world, you're above all the stuff. And you're starting to understand life is a liberating invitation, freeing everything. But when you're in life and you're nitpicking anybody and everything about your life, you're stuck in the misery of life. And it's not misery of life, you're stuck in the misery of yourself.
right.
And
Right.
when you hear somebody complaining about somebody or saying, I don't like this, they don't like themselves. Every time you say something bad about somebody, you're saying something bad about yourself because it's something you don't like, but you can use that as an outside something to blame on the outside world.
That's a hard one. I don't like that one, but it's the truth. Uh, so,
But
so when you don't like something about somebody, let's give an example. Uh, now, what do you do with that wisdom that you just received?
where's that in me?
Ooh,
How am I blaming them for my own shame?
wow.
And why? And so if I don't like that person, what are they showing me to expand me?
Ah, I like that.
And see, that's the thing about show and not tell. If you're showed something, it's easier to flow. But when you tell somebody, you smell and the tell. When you're telling people something, you're locked in a limitation. But when you show and express, you're never locked in yesterday.
That's really good. So let's say you meet somebody and you say, "Oh, I don't like that person because they're very arrogant." I'm just putting something out there. They're so arrogant, they're so full of themselves, whatever. So now we look at ourselves and say, "Where does that arrogance lie in me?"
Yes. And how do I use that in my everyday life? Because all arrogance, egotistical arrogance is fear.
Mm, true.
It's covering up. You
Yep.
know, and people, a lot of times egotistical people that want to tell you how smart they
Hmm.
are afraid of that you might find out they don't know anything. Well,
That's
no, that's
right.
wrong. They they never understand anything. There's a big difference between it's like let me know how you think or let me understand how you feel. Which one feels better?
Oh, number two, of course.
Yeah. But if you go, you'll never know yourself. but you can understand yourself to hear. The rest of it is like going on a safari, or it's like I call it riding across the United States before it was founded.
Hmm.
To see, this is my favorite thing. Just think of sitting in St. Louis, Missouri in the early 1800s, coming across to the West Coast. How much ingenuity do you have to get there?
First of all, how brave do you have to be
Well, see, that's the thing.
to even
But
start this journey?
and see, that's the difference between today. Everybody that come across, they was involved in the everyday things. They got the wisdom of get your hand. I call it get your hands dirty wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's and they come across. And then I get to thinking, I've been across the Rockies and all the mountain passes. How the hell would you do that? You have to have some ingenuity,
Yes.
and see, that's the thing. But the leaders of the deal were involved in that, so they all got their hands dirty together.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have computers, and nobody gets their hands dirty on the production floor, and everything looks easy to an educated mind. But they're on mental autopilot. They don't understand how many little things them people do that they don't see. It's
Right.
never the big things that get things done. It's the little things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I
Ants
agree with that.
moving, it's just like an ant. They move the world, but how do they do it?
Little tiny bit at a time.
And see, the elephant, they just tear it down. But see, it's the minute things, and it's always the little things that hold a big job up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those settlers, those people who are going across country, also have to be persistent and consistent. I mean, at any point they could give up, and now what? They're in the middle of the nowhere and they give up, and what? They're just going to give up and die. They have to keep going.
Like when you're in the middle of Montana or Wyoming, South Dakota in the middle of January, back them days, that was not cute.
Wow.
30 below in them storms.
Hmm.
And see, that's one of my favorite things, Maury, is listening, like when I go to South Dakota and there's a blizzard. Well, you got to get home and hunker down. Most of them people been through more blizzards than them guys on TV have ever seen.
True.
But see, like South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Iowa, all them states up there, they have machinery. They know how to move that snow now.
Yeah.
Like telling Buffalo, New York how to handle a snowstorm.
They have to know. It's all
Yeah.
there is there is
But
snowstorms.
see, the thing is, they think that education, they know more. But the people that got your hands-on wisdom, they understand.
Yeah, I like
And
it.
that's where the world is losing. We don't understand it.
Yeah.
And see, the fresh experiences, they allow your curiosity to play. Because what is the fresh experience? Where is it?
Right.
When you
Exactly.
walk like in a business, when something happens, how do they go right back into what happened yesterday, trying to use yesterday's knowledge to get out of today? And see, that's where the world is. You look at the world in a lot of ways, we're still trying to get out of the yesterday with the same knowledge as our ancestors. And we don't have the communication or the people skills to do it.
Mm,
See, people skills is communication.
yes,
It isn't education.
I
And
agree. Yeah,
and
definitely.
if you go into a business, most of their challenges are from never listening to the people that are physically doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Just and the thing is, they're not going to make it sound like an educated thing because they're going to cut out about 90 million words and say, "This is doing this, this is this, and this is what's happening." And that's the thing. We want to use a million words to do uh, simple things. And that's where the fresh experience is. Because when something happens, that's a fresh experience occurring right now.
Hmm.
And if you don't, if you want to look at it like that always is happening, well, it's going to stay happening because that's what it is. But why is it a fresh experience? Where's the wisdom? Where's this? What's fresh? What's the foresight? Where am I going to rise and expand out of this?
Right.
And see, that's where I don't use the word shift, because shift is straight across. And I drove truck. If you ever missed a gear when you shifted the gear, you went down the hill backwards, you never want to hear shift again. But if I rise out of it, I'm leaving it behind.
Okay, I like that.
Rise, shine, energize, and expand.
Just,
Always like to shine so I look bright.
I love the rise out of it. It's so different, such a different thing.
But see how liberating that is?
Absolutely. It
See
just
that?
lifts you up just to say the word rise.
Yeah. But I rise out of yesterday to enjoy today. And a lot of people wake up in the morning with yesterday's challenges and complaining about them. I was the best at it. But it isn't what it is. It's a simple question. Why is today the best day of my life? Just make that, just take that that record of what happened to what's fresh.
I like that. And today is the best day of my life because I decided today is going to be the best day of my life. I mean,
That's what I'm experiencing.
yeah.
Fresh experience. And see, people, if you just listen when you're out, and all people do is complain about what happened yesterday. So that makes today yesterday.
Ooh. Oh yeah. It's like that movie's wow. It's like that Groundhog Day movie over and over
That's
again.
all. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
But you look at the world, we're trying to use the same knowledge to get out of the world situations that got us into it.
Hmm.
And see, that's what thinking and knowing and all that, that's just a mental fence. When you open up to the fresh experience, to hearken to fresh wisdom, insight, and clarity, you start dissolving that. And see, there's three things this country has never got rid of and never expanded out of: the Civil War, the Dirty 30s, and the Great Society. Because if you look what was supposed to have caused the Civil War, that's still going on today.
Hmm.
We've not gotten smart enough to understand. And then the Dirty 30s, we still got that poverty consciousness. And we inherited poverty consciousness.
Yes.
And then the Great Society is we think somebody owes us something.
Yep.
And that's where the world is. You owe me something because I don't know why. You just do because I'm an American.
Just because. Yeah.
You know, you know, what's fun to do is I go get a coffee. I pull up there and I say, "Why ain't it ready?" Because I'm an American. I don't have no patience to wait. And some of them girls just die laughing. One of these days, they're going to throw a coffee on me and say, "There, now you don't have to wait." But they laugh and they say, "Yeah." I say, "I'm American." And see, that's the
I
thing.
right to fast coffee.
And some of them they just laugh. Then it makes it. But if you use laughter to break the ice in anything, people feel more comfortable.
Absolutely.
And laughter opens the heart.
Hmm. That is so true, Rob.
Yeah. But the only one holding anybody back in this world is themselves.
Also true.
You may have more challenges than somebody else
Hmm.
in your head, but all you have is more. You got liberating experiences to open up a fresh experience. But liberation over change he'll create. Liberation allows you to feel calm.
Yeah.
And what you're really trying to overcome in all the self help personal growth is the cognitive recollections of your life. Because, like, change has nothing but cognitive recollection. Oh, this happened to me. You never had anything happen to you. You've had things happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, some of it isn't going to be, it isn't going to be really, really good, but it's all going to be liberating. And sometimes we have a deeper understanding to attain. So that's why it may be a little more deeper than what you're used to.
Yes, I was thinking that just before you said it. Thinking if your circumstances are so very difficult, then that means that what you're going to receive is even bigger.
Yeah, and also you got more letting go to do. You can't keep a hold of what happened yesterday.
Hmm.
And see, and we're taught to really think everything is for us, and it is for us. But they think it happens to them because they're bad, but really it's happening to them because they're a dynamic spirit.
Very nice.
See, I don't do the human experience. I'm a spiritual energy on a spiritual voyage. I
Mhm.
don't need all that overthinking human shit.
That's so nice. It's a much better way to have your brain with all the overthinking. So we're just about to close. What last thing would you like to leave the listener with today?
Uncover and discover how uniquely talented you are. Because
Oh,
the only one holding you back is you. And everything out there in the physical world is to liberate you, inspire you, and show you a better way. And quit thinking somebody owes you something. And everything you think is unsavory in the world, it's an inherited representation from somewhere. And we inherited all of our ancestors' survival mode. But liberate you by listening, by energetic liberation, energized listening, and ask maverick questions. That's just outside of the box of everything you think and know.
yeah, for sure.
Because you think and know your way to yesterday, and that's it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Rob. Wow. Thank you for leaving us with that thought. That's fantastic. Very powerful. And thank you for listening in to Dare to Be Authentic podcast. Catch us next time. See you. Bye bye.